Macc69, aka Akhenaten, aka Tutankhamun, aka Tahuti Son, which means I shine through the wisdom. And welcome to Ring the Bell. Now, let's get into this Raw episode because, I ain't got no time to waste. We're about to chop down this whole 3-hour segment. Excuse me. Chop down this whole 3 hours of just Raw, okay? To be fair, this Raw was better than a lot of other Raws this year. Just to be fair. I'm going to be very honest there. So, we start off with Raw. We start off Raw with Brock Lesnar kicking off the show. He comes out with his little Money in the Suitcase briefcase and holding it towards his ear like he's goddamn one of them old school rappers from 1986 in the Bronx. You dig what I'm saying? Like it's a boombox. So he's walking down and he asks Paul Heyman, "Can you hear it? Can you hear it?" And Paul's like, "Yeah, I can hear it." But anyway, Paul talks about conspiracy theories and how Seth Rollins gotta beware because Brock Lesnar is against Seth Rollins. All this other wop wop bullshit. Next thing you know, boom, Seth Rollins music hits. Here comes Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins come out talking about how he should be in a good mood, but he can't be in a good mood after he gave the best match of his career, fighting against AJ Styles. He said he can't be in a good mood because of that, though. He said he has to worry and come to Raw and look at the Beast, or Brock Lesnar, with this suitcase. Now, it becomes a situation where they're basically getting face-to-face in each other's faces and stuff like that. And Seth Rollins is telling Brock Lesnar, "Let's do this. If you're man enough, this, that, and the third, why don't you cash that in tonight? And we can do this right here, right now. Blah, 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 blah." And so, Lesnar giving that typical smirk, "Oh yeah." And Heyman comes in and he stops him and all this other stuff. And it's funny because, Heyman shuts down everything. Heyman comes in and he says, "It's Brock's game." And he talks about how Seth has to wait and be patient because, Brock get to choose what time he's going to be doing whatever he's doing. And so then Paul says something about Becky Lynch, which must have pissed the hell off of Seth, because Seth tried to rush at Heyman. Brock steps in front of him. Seth basically backs up once he sees. And then, he gets to yelling in Brock's face, telling him, "You're not man enough, you're not man enough, yada, 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 yada." And so what ends up happening is Brock Lesnar ends up shoving Seth Rollins with the briefcase. Boom! Right? So Seth Rollins, like, "I ain't no punk, bitch." And he pushes him back, right? And it becomes all this situation. And so Paul Heyman breaks it up again. And he's like, "Well, wait a second. How do you know that he's even going to cash in on you, Seth Rollins? How do you know that it's not going to be a new day?" "Yes, it is." And all this other shit, right? So next thing you know, Kofi Kingston's music hits. And Kofi comes out and he's, he says, he's trying to solidify his legacy as WWE champion. So if Brock Lesnar is going to cash in on anybody, he's going to need him to cash in on Kofi tonight. Which I feel was one of the corniest things to give Kofi to say. But I get why they gave that to Kofi, because Kofi is supposed to be the guy who's very humble. He's very, willing to fight and show that he's, all these 11 years, he's been waiting for this opportunity for a reason. So Paul Heyman comes in and says, "I noticed that both the champions are now giving their own proposals, basically, to fight the reigning, defending, Universal Champion of the box office. So Paul Heyman then ends it by saying, spoiler, I know for a fact you two are not done tonight, so don't worry. Brock Lesnar nor the contract is going anywhere. So next, we have Sami Zayn attempting to, I guess you could say, get help from Bobby Lashley, and Bobby Lashley refuses. And so that's apparently the next match. Sami Zayn versus Braun Strowman. Now the problem with that is I don't care about it. And Raw started off really cool. Like, I didn't like seeing the Beast with the Monster in the Bank situation going on. However, it's still, the storyline came in and it's making it a very good opportunity for WWE to actually use this and create some momentum that they really need. So Seth Rollins and Kofi are walking backstage, and Seth turns to Kofi and tells him, I don't think you know what you're getting into when you challenged him. And Kofi said, I know exactly what I'm getting into. And so all of a sudden they both see Triple H and they say, well, here, let's ask him here. And they ask him, like, what's going on? And so Triple H turns around and he tells Kofi and Seth, was like, I was going to tell you guys this earlier, but you guys ran out there so quick that no one could talk to you. And so, yada, 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 you two are in a match with Baron Corbin and Bobby Lashley. Yet again, another Baron Corbin, Bobby Lashley matchup with Seth Rollins and whoever else. A Bobby Lashley and Baron Corbin matchup with anybody is just terrible. I'm just putting it out there. Bobby Lashley is a good independent superstar. And this is just what it is. You put him in these groups with McIntyre and Baron Corbin, and it just brings the stock completely down. I'm going to leave that at that, and that's what it is. WTF on that situation. So then we go into the ring, and here's Sami Zayn in the ring. Braun Strowman comes out. Sami Zayn immediately books it, takes off, running all the way around the stadium, which is hilarious. Anyway, Braun sees Bobby Lashley, and they just stop, and they get this look at each other. And, they got this match at Super Showdown. And so they're looking at each other. And then Sami Zayn comes out of nowhere, gives him a cold, dope fiend right hand. But Lashley shakes it off and tosses him. Boom! Then he looks at Braun shakes it off and tosses him. And then he looks at Lashley and says, I'll deal with you later. And then he walks off and go and finish the job with Sami Zayn. Damn, that kind of hurt him. Yeah, some hands. Powerful hitting. Anyway, so Braun Strowman ends up carrying Sami Zayn back out to the ring. In this situation, Sami Zayn is now getting carried to the ring. Braun Strowman drops him, or he drops back and pushes Braun Strowman to like 3 ring posts. He ended up getting his momentum up. The match started, and Sami Zayn started trying to, get his stuff in. But ultimately, Braun Strowman wins this match. That's just what it is. And it was kind of like one of those matches where I'm like, what was the point of this? Like, Sami Zayn came back and he had a lot of momentum behind him, especially with the little heel gimmick that they gave him. And now they make him look super fucking weak, once again, by motherfucking just goddamn having Braun Strowman bitch him out once a fucking again. Those are my notes, in case you guys were wondering. So, next we see Lars Sullivan. He's getting interviewed by Charlie. And Charlie asks him, with all the damage that he's done, what's next for him? And here comes the Lucha House Party. Lucha House Party. And once again, their music. And you know, the mariachi shit, they come down. Under the sea, under the sea, under the sea, under the sea. And they get down to the ring, and they jump him, beat him, get him out of the ring. And then Lars comes back. Kalisto jumps over, try to springboard over, and, you know, land on Solomon. But Solomon catches him, tosses him on the ring apron, which was ridiculous. And then the other two, Grand Metalik and Lince Gravado, whatever the freak his name is, they try to jump through and all this other stuff. But at the end of the day, Lars Sullivan rectifies them in a massive way. Period. Point blank. Next, we have Ricochet versus Cesaro. Cesaro comes out with new theme and all. And long story short, Ricochet is jobbed out to Cesaro. So, once again, Ricochet is falling down, deep into the abyss of what's just called WWE booking. So now we're going to another interview with Charlie. After his classic match with Seth Rollins, AJ Styles' interview. What's next for you? Back to square one, he says. And so here comes Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin interrupts him and talk about, please, I know nobody want to hear about, I gave my best, I came up short, yada, 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 yada. And he basically told AJ Styles that you didn't beat Seth Rollins, however, the week before I did, or 2 weeks before, whatever, I did. He said, so you didn't deserve that title match, however, I did. And basically, AJ Styles says something along the lines of, I don't know about you deserving a title match, but you deserve this. And he slaps the shit out of him. And he gets into his fighting stance like, bring that shit. And AJ Styles, he's just so precious when he gets into his little fighting stance. He looks like a little kid. Come on! Anyway, he's like, bring that shit. And Baron Corbin was like, huh, you'll pay for that. And walked the fuck off. Really? So why is Baron Corbin getting put into a new feud before he even gets finished with the shit he's doing now? Because it's going to make it boring all the way fucking around. And, you know, I understand they want to hype up Baron Corbin, so they're going to put him in a match with one of the best in the world, AJ Styles, so that AJ Styles can make him look better. But fuck that. That's stupid. It is fucking stupid. And if they job out AJ Styles to this motherfucker, that's it. I'm not watching this shit no more. I'm just done. Okay? Moving on. Next, Roman Reigns comes out. And before he says anything, Shane McMahon comes out. Here comes the money. Here we go. Money, 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 money. And so as Shane comes out, he talks about how he's no longer focused on The Miz, but his focus is on Roman. And talked about how Roman assaulted his father and what kind of person does that to a person's father. That was pretty, good though. The irony of that heel right there was great. But basically, Shane makes a match for Roman and Shane McMahon at Super Showdown. And he kind of implemented he wouldn't be alone. Now, we already know that Super Showdown card has been leaked. And it's going to be Shane McMahon and another party versus Roman Reigns in the 2 versus 1 match. In the handicap match. So fucking what? I'm not excited about that at all. But I know it'll probably be a good match because they're going to make sure it seems as a good match. Just saying. So it moves forward. The next thing you know, the Usos versus the Revival. And so what happens is, the Revival comes out, and before the match even starts, they brutally starts beating the Usos. The bell doesn't ring, but somehow, in some shape and form, the match has started. So let's move forth on that. Dawson gets a roll up and pulls the tights, and he ends up getting the win. Now, this is a really, really good match. It was a really good match, and I urge you to go and look at it. But I feel like they tried a bit to make it seem like, okay, we're getting ours no matter what, rather than figuring out who really was the best out of the best in that situation. So what they're going to do is they're going to make sure they do it at Super Showdown. I think that that's the only logical thing to do, is to make sure that they have that high caliber matchup on Super Showdown. Okay. Moving on. Alexa Bliss confronts Nikki Cross for a loss. And Nikki was trying to explain. And then here comes the Revival telling her that we should be the ones on your show tonight. Because, you know, we just beat the best tag team in the world. Right? Although they were going around saying they were the best tag team in the world. So why would you say that you beat the best tag team in the world? And you still didn't go against Young Bucks. You still haven't gone against any of the Lucha Brothers, none of the best tag teams in the world. So you might as well just say you were the best tag team in the WWE at the time. So let's leave that there. Okay? So Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross comes out for a moment of bliss. They pulls out Becky. And then here comes Lacey Evans. And everything from that point just becomes boring to me. Well, everything was okay. Shit that I didn't expect to like, I kind of liked. But that point, it became boring. Here comes the Iconics and Lacey Evans. Excuse me, let me put that in the right order. Iconics comes out first and Lacey Evans come out. I'm bored all the way through, okay? So what ends up happening next is they end up having a 6-woman matchup. Alexa Bliss, Nikki, and Becky versus the Iconics and Lacey Evans. Becky, Nikki, and Alexa ends up winning, even though Alexa did not help whatsoever. That's how exciting this match was to me. None at all. So, next, we have Mick Foley comes out to announce the new WWE title. Now, once he started talking about it's time for WWE to get RAW again, all of a sudden, you know, in my eyes, in my mind, and everything, I thought, hey, could they be bringing back the Hardcore Championship? And guess what? They didn't. They brought back a variation, or they created a new belt with the rule of the Hardcore Championship and called it the 24/7 belt. It is the 24/7 title. It has the same rules as the Hardcore Championship did back in the Attitude Era, which means it is 24/7. As long as there's a referee around, that it is it must consistently be defended. Now, being a person who used to do backyard wrestling, who held a hardcore title with those exact same rules, I'm going to say this. It seems like Vince McMahon is running out of ideas, and he's trying to resort back to bringing in some of this old bullshit, because if you think about it, it's a good concept. It's entertaining. This segment was very entertaining. But the belt is illogical. There's no purpose for the belt, really. Because really all you're doing is just, instead of giving these people the time that they should be getting on TV, they're getting these hot seconds. And now they can't be comfortable with being a champion. So, and we all know that champions get pay raises. So answer me this. If champions get pay raises, Do each champion get a raise according to the time that they had the title? Titus O'Neil was the first person to win this title. And let me just say he's the first person to receive the title. Because everybody that Mick Foley just said, Mick Foley said that he had everybody lined up. And anybody from any roster can come out. NXT, SmackDown, Raw, maybe even some Legends, 205 Live. So you see Drake Maverick and all these other motherfuckers come out trying to get these belts. But the thing was, there was no match. It was just whoever got to the belt first is the champion. So the first person who got to the belt was Titus O'Neil. Definitively, because at first, the Good Brothers got the belt, their hands on the title at the same time. So they basically wasn't crowned. But Titus O'Neil won. The bell rung. However, his name wasn't announced. Because Robert Roode comes out and he now attacks Titus and gets a pin. So now, Robert Roode is the champion, the 24/7 champion. He takes off running because everybody starts chasing him and all this other shit. Yes. This is what the new title represents. So, even though this segment was very stupid in my eyes, it was also a very entertaining segment. The title may be stupid, but the segment was very entertaining. Okay, so next we have Drew McIntyre and The Miz. And before the match starts, AJ Styles... before we get into this, there's a reason why this was a first ever match put on Raw and not on a pay-per-view like AJ Styles and Seth Rollins. This was a good match. However, it didn't seem like there was anything viable for this match. There was nothing really wowish about this match to me. It was lacking something. It was nothing spectacular when it comes to the talent of Drew McIntyre and some of the great moves that The Miz have. I expected a lot more. However, it just wasn't. So at the end of the day, Shane comes out and gets involved. Drew McIntyre gets his Claymore kick. Drew McIntyre wins. Shane was going to do a coast to coast on The Miz. And then Roman Reigns come out and saves The Miz and this, that, and the third. Now, news, Rey Mysterio was injured last night. And so the next segment going in was Samoa Joe's promo talking about how Rey is has a reputation and how he's going to give Rey an opportunity to do the right thing and give him back the belt. Or he's going to show his son Dominique what a man does or some stuff like that. I'm just paraphrasing, but you can go look at that segment if you want. I don't care because it just kind of bored me a little bit. So moving along. Now here comes Bobby Roode, sees R-Truth. He says, R-Truth, help me. R-Truth tells him to get inside of his trunk. Next thing you know, all these wrestlers come out and they're looking for him. R-Truth tells them he went that way and they all go running the opposite way. R-Truth pulls him out, tells him to get in the car. He's going to take him out of here. So he goes to get in the front seat and he sees there's a referee. He said, what are you doing in here? And so here comes Bobby Roode. He kicks him in the stomach and slams his face against the car. And it gets a 1, 2, 3 count off of that. Go figure. So now, R-Truth is your 24/7 champion. So now we get to the final matches. Kofi Kingston and Seth Rollins versus Bobby Lashley and Baron Corbin. No DQ. Now, it was an okay match. It was okay. Kofi and Seth carried this match. Lashley comes and spears both of them after the match is over. Lashley also grabs the chair and he was about to hit Seth with it, but Seth kicks it into his face. And then here comes Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar comes out as both men prepares to square off with this man. This man, he walks around the ring like he usually does. And then he pretends like he's going to get in the ring, but he don't. And this is what the show ends on. So basically, the show was okay. It was better than a lot of the other Raws that I've seen this year. However, it just seems like, once AEW start, Vince ain't going to know what the hell to do. He's going to have to give up the company to Triple H. And Triple H is going to run this shit the same way he runs NXT. Well, I'm your boy Macc, Sicc, a.k.a. Akhenaten, a.k.a. Tutankhamun, a.k.a. Tahuti's son, which means I shine through the wisdom. If you guys want to win our $1,000 Visa gift card that we're going to be giving away on our 1,000 subscriber, then make sure you like, comment, and then make sure you subscribe. Because you got to subscribe first and foremost, okay? Once you subscribe, you go down to the like the video. Then you go down, you drop a comment. The more videos that you guys are able to like and comment on, the bigger chance that you guys are going to be able to win the $1,000 gift card. We have a generator that we're going to be using, and basically it really matters how many videos and likes you're able to put on these videos. How many videos you watch, and how many videos you're able to like, comment, and share. So please make sure you do that. Like I said, subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure you check back in with us tomorrow after we go over the up-and-coming SmackDown. But I don't know if it's just me, but I'm highly disappointed. I'm entertained, but still disappointed. You guys take it easy. I'm Macc, a.k.a. Akhenaten, a.k.a. Tutankhamun, a.k.a. Tahuti's son, which means I shine through the wisdom. And now you can ring the bell.